What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Coocumber Reviews, which is also sponsored by Coocumber Incorporated, where we have movie reviews, wrestling videos, and that's about all I got right now. We're working on some new material. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all are doing great. As you all know, the movie theaters are starting to open back up, so unfortunately I did not get to watch this in the movie theater, but this is me going to be talking about possibly the final chapter in the MonsterVerse, Godzilla or Kong versus Godzilla, otherwise known as King Kong versus Godzilla. This movie was supposed to come out last year. I was really pumped for it, and then when the pandemic happened, a lot of stuff changed. So, King Kong versus Godzilla. So, probably not going to be surprised. I enjoyed this movie because, in all honesty, when I came to Godzilla 2014, or when I wanted to really see Godzilla King of the Monsters, there's only one thing I came to those movies for, and that was the following: Kaiju fights! Freaking Godzilla taking on the Mutos, taking on King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra. That's what I went to these movies for. I didn't go to the movies for the character development. I went there to see big monsters destroying buildings, almost killing each other, and big epic Dragon Ball Z blasts. That's what I came to these movies to see. But I will say, I would honestly argue that King Kong versus Godzilla may be the best out of the franchise, because one, you can see everything. We actually have monsters fighting in the daytime. Hallelujah! But ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you that the way how this movie looks is great. The way how King Kong and Godzilla looks is great. Now, the way that how they get them to fight isn't really established all that very well. It more has to do along the lines with Godzilla's going after something, and King Kong and Godzilla really just end up running into each other. And Godzilla's like going on a rampage, and these people are trying to basically, get Kong to call Godzilla off. So they end up fighting, and we get more development, actually with Kong, because in this movie, it's Kong's movie. This is Kong's movie. We get more development through the fact of this little girl from the last member of her tribe that were on Skull Island. She's able to speak sign language, and she's actually able to communicate with Kong, and we are actually able to see how he feels, what he's going through, what he feels about this. And it is such great work. The way how they directed the guy who plays Kong and the effects, it looks great. It really does. Now, I will say that Godzilla does take someone a back seat, but that didn't bother me. What I was really looking forward to is the matchups, and every single fight is great. It is just amazing how they edited these fights together. Like I said, everything you can see, from them fighting underwater to them fighting at night, you can see, and you can tell who's doing what, what's going on, who's firing the blast, who's doing what, who has what weapon. It is just great. It really is great. I would say this is probably one of the best versus movies, other than probably Freddy vs. Jason being the best. But, I mean, this movie was fun. I got what I wanted out of this. I wanted to see King Kong versus Godzilla. King taking on the King of the Monsters. King versus God. Who's going to win? And that's what we got. Now, as for the human characters, we got Madison back from the second movie. Now, I would say probably one of the things that would have made this movie a lot better is if it was about her family, because her family is in two of these movies now. Her family was the main focus in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and now her family once again is the focus, or is part of the story, in King Kong versus Godzilla. And I think that probably something that could have made things a lot better is if this family was in all of the movies except, King Kong, or Kong Skull Island, because that took place in the 1970s. But, so for those who have not seen, you have in the second movie, you have her father, who has a hatred for Godzilla because during the aftermath of what happened in the first one, they lost their youngest son. Well, why not actually have them be the characters, and we actually see them lose their son, and then one that develops a hatred for Godzilla that causes him and his wife to split up. We have a reason for the wife going crazy other than, what we got in the second movie, and it would just be better character development, because this and King of the Monsters are the only ones with consistency, mainly because of these two characters. Now, I think that is just something that would have brightened things up a little bit. Now, as for the main villain of the movie, you guys have probably all seen the trailers, and I'm just going to go ahead and go into spoilers right now about the main villain, which you guys have probably seen the trailers, and if you haven't, the villain in this movie is Mechagodzilla. Now, this is the fourth time that they have rebooted Mechagodzilla. And the way how they make him work is really good. They're able to bring back another monster from the second movie and make it work. We almost technically get two monsters into one, and it is something really good. Although I do not like the way Mechagodzilla is designed. I really wish that they had just given us the redesign of what they did with him in Ready Player One, because the way how he looked in that movie, I thought he looked great. Or maybe they could have done a remodel of how he looked in the first movie, or either maybe the second version of how Mechagodzilla looks, or even Kiru himself. Those are other good designs. I just did not like the way Mechagodzilla looked. But you know what? They show Mechagodzilla is a force to be reckoned with from all the weapons that he has. And it's understandable to reason why he can go toe-to-toe with Godzilla. And it comes to, like every Versus movie, you know, like you have like two creatures or two people meeting up and fighting, and then they end up teaming up together. And like, you know, we get that. And how they end up able to take Mechagodzilla down. And like, you know, you have a little bit more of a dig into Kong's ancestry with the weapon that is made out of one of Godzilla's dorsal spines. This is so fun. This movie is fun, and it actually goes by pretty quick. I will say Godzilla King of the Monsters is such a long sit-through, and it feels long. But not with this movie. This movie has a pretty good steady pace. It does what it wants, it tells you what it wants, and it leaves. And this possibly may be the end, because I'm wondering, okay, what could they do next? Where could they go next? What Godzilla villain could they bring in afterwards? I really want to know. Guys, in my honest opinion, I'm going to give Kong vs. Godzilla a B+. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was something that I could sit down and watch again, even though I did not get to watch this in the theaters. It was still fun to watch it on HBO Max. Ladies and gentlemen, I strongly recommend either go buy a movie ticket and go watch it, or go watch it on HBO Max. This is something you're really going to enjoy. This does possibly feel like a conclusion. This is kind of like maybe like an open book ending. Either we're going to see something else, or this is it. Either way, it's a really good way to end things, and I want to see it again. Guys, don't forget to hit up my Instagram. Don't forget to hit up my Facebook. I've got a Twitter and my Patreon. I am working on some reward ideas, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you those. And hope that you all are enjoying the rest of your day. Stay tuned for more episodes of Talk Inside the Ring and my DC animated movie reviews, along with a review for the new Mortal Kombat. Bye, guys.